ecumenical and tell a little bit about it, where we are looking at plastics and making money from plastics. We have started with a pilot in the Ga and Ga West presbyteries, where we are partnering with churches to come up with the plastic waste bin collections. And when we collect it, we will link that up to other companies who will come and buy those plastics as a means of giving money to the church. We look forward to partnering with our guest speaker here in terms of coming up with an accelerator and incubation center so that we can do more for the church. And Honorable Minister, we would also request that the social enterprise policy that is within the Ministry of Trade and Industry be looked at so that it can be passed and it will work. Thank you very much.
Thank you. When you were speaking, the Honorable Minister got excited. He said, come, and we will support the church in this, yes. Now the university professor. Let us, with a round of applause, welcome our Vice Chancellor, University President.
Thank you very much, Papa. I think I would start with some bit of history. Going back to 1945, after the Second World War, a country like Japan, and I learned this when I went to Japan, had nothing, absolutely nothing. Japan was extremely poor after the Second World War, 1945. So they decided that they would have to develop their country. I'm sure at that time, Ghana today was far, far better than Japan at that time. And they placed emphasis on production. Trained and they had the taste for Japanese products. So even some of us who went there in '88, when America tried to force Japan to open up their rice market, even some of us rejected the rice that came from America because of the taste, nationalism. Every Japanese places Japan first. No politics at all. So by so doing, they managed to build up their industries. Without industrialization, it's going to be very difficult for us to develop, very difficult for us to create jobs. I remember when we were in school, for example, my mother never bought a wig stand. She never bought a tray. She never bought a basket to go to market with. Because right from class 1, we were taught to produce these things. And I was very good at them. Now everything is lost. We don't have any of such in our curriculum. So our education has a role to play. Unfortunately, we tangled with the educational system somewhere along the line. The very good things that we had, we threw them away and decided to go for other things. As a result, now we have a bloated population for some from primary school to get to the university. But we have to try as much as possible to adjust to it. Now currently it's said that, now despite all the things that we have lost, we still will have to keep going. Now we're going with one mentality that the universities are there to train critical minds to solve national problems. That is the first thing. Now, in trying to train critical minds, you realize that the industries are also complaining that our students are not fit for purpose. So now we had to turn things around to say that we need to bridge the gap between academia and industry. And so we introduced certain things like experientials, helping the students to develop their skill set, to build their capacities for industry. But strictly speaking, universities are not there to produce students raw materials for the industries will have to help. So these days, we try to bring the industries in when we develop our programs for the universities, so that we have the academia, we have the industry, we try to break the gap to be able to solve that problem. But that's said and done, using my not as people looking for employment, not as employees, but as employees. And before we can do that, we have to go back to revisit the issue of engineering. Getting a lot, as we speak now, the service industry has 70% of our students studying towards the service industry, and just about 30% of the students studying towards the production. And if we are to move on, then we have to place emphasis on engineering. Because without engineering, there's no way we can produce. And without production, there's no way we can move ahead as a nation. So all we'll do will be to import and sell. And there are people ready to get into the service industry. So in the Presbyterian University, a new concept has been introduced for the engineering program, which is new, though, and that is the concept of PMP. You enter the university or the program with a project in mind, and you leave with a product in hand. After that, you go through a period of incubation, and we'll help you set yourself up. So very soon, I'm sure, my program moderator, very soon you may be seeing products like CCTV cameras, even sample watches and others coming from the Presbyterian University. And we are placing emphasis on the quality. So we're trying to recruit these young guys who are computer savvy, engineering savvy. Already we are in touch with Toyota and others to come and help us with the new programs we're going to introduce, the automobile industries and others, so that employ. That is the new win, the new thinking that is going through, and we must all help to make this a success. So if you don't have a job to do, there's always a job to do. Look for a problem. There's a problem in every community. Look for a problem, and to every problem there's an opportunity to make money. Thank you very much.
I like the idea. You come to the school with a project in mind, and you leave with a product in hand. Wow, wow. Product in hand. Project in mind. PM, project in mind, project PMPH. Okay, all right. PMPH. So you NGO people, you like acronyms. So it's a new one. PMPH. Project in mind, product in hand. That's wonderful. Now we will take a speaker to react to some of the things, particularly the startups. Yes. Because you were the speaker, I'll give you more than 3 minutes. I will double it to 8 minutes.
Thank you for being gracious. Yes, so I would address a number of the questions that came. So first I would want to mention that yes, in terms of partnership for supporting entrepreneurs in the church, we already have a lot of training programs. We actually have one called the Kingdom Business Principles that is tailored to Christians who want to understand even the role of the Bible even in building business. So we can actually do that with you, and we want to see how we could scale up.
Wait, because you went to London School of Economics, your slang is above. Say
But I would add that we don't like an internship because they don't pay. Ghana is one of the few places where